I say no. You don't move on because January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history.
The United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris
awkward.
Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes.
She's got thick skin, in fairness to her, because that is not easy to do that. That is really, really rough.
Thank you for your work. And thank you. Congratulations to you.
In fairness, I would pull exactly the same face she did if that happened to me. I don't know what the context of the situation is or who that man is, if any of you guys know. But it's just, there's so much awkwardness around Kamala Harris, and we're not going to see that anymore. Those days are over very soon. The View chimed in. Sonny Houston compared January 6th to World War II, the Holocaust, and slavery.
I think we need to find moral clarity, you know, in this country. And I just remember after January 6th, you had someone like Mitch McConnell placing the blame on January 6th where it belonged, squarely on Donald Trump's shoulders. Mm-hmm. And then you started seeing people backtrack that and losing their moral center. You had Condoleezza Rice, I believe, on this very show saying, you know, we need to move on from January 6th. Mm-hmm. I say no. You don't move on because January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, you know, like World War II, things that happened, you know, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery, we need to never forget, because past becomes prologue if you forget any race.
I've said this before, I really, really dislike this thing of comparing situations to the Holocaust or to Nazis or Hitler when they are just clearly in no way the same level. And it's just insulting to the absolute horror of what that was. We also have Kamala doing something similar where she compares J6 to 9/11 and Pearl Harbor.
Certain dates echo throughout history, including dates that instantly remind all who have lived through them where they were and what they were doing when our democracy came under assault. Dates that occupy not only a place on our calendars, but a place in our collective memory. December 7th, 1941, September 11th, 2001, and January 6th, 2021.
9/11 was 9/11. There's things that they were what they were, and you don't need to tell people over and over again, because it shook the entire world to its core, that you don't need to tell people when something is extremely significant. The world knows, and it knows forever. The January 6th thing, I just get this vibe that they keep trying to tell people it was this world-shaking event. Whereas if it was, it wouldn't need to be said, if you know what I mean. It just is. Almost like they're trying to convince people, if that makes sense. And if it was as significant as 9/11, Pearl Harbor, the Holocaust, etc., you wouldn't have to convince people in that way, if that makes sense. A very interesting history lesson. The media claims January 6th was the worst attack on our capital. This was the 1983 bombing of the US Capitol by left-wing extremists. Their leader was Suzanne Rosenberg. Bill Clinton commuted her sentence as she now sits on the board of Black Lives Matter. They don't want you to know this. So that's fascinating. They really don't want you to know this. I've never heard that before. This person posted, reminder that 1/3 of Democrats boycotted the 2017 inauguration because they falsely claimed Trump stole the election and was an illegitimate president. Never forget what happened 4 years ago on the dark day that will forever live in infamy. $2+ billion of property damage, 200 federal buildings damaged, 2,000 plus police officers injured, at least 25 Americans killed. Oh wait, wrong protest. Wow. That is the George Floyd riots. Wow, look at that building. But a lot of the posts today were lighthearted. People were having fun playing Kamala Harris memes. And like I said, that probably won't be seeing much of her in the future. And then there were reps posting videos of themselves in the snow on their way in. And besides that, Trudeau announced that he's resigning.
So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process.
And this is just weeks after Trump has been putting pressure on him about tariffs, etc. And also, what's the word for it? You know, making jokes at Trudeau's expense online. And overall, I think Trudeau's popularity is really very low nowadays. And then Trump swooped in. He did not let a moment pass. And he said, many people in Canada love being the 51st state. The United States can no longer suffer the massive trade deficits and subsidies that Canada needs to stay afloat. Justin Trudeau knew this and resigned. If Canada merged with the US, there would be no tariffs, taxes would go way down, and they would be totally secure from the threat of the Russian and Chinese ships that are constantly surrounding them. Together, what a great nation it would be. Well, what would that be like? Can you imagine if Canada became part of the United States? Now that would be historical. I really don't know what Canadians would think of that. If there are any Canadians out there, please let me know what you think. And Americans, what do you think of this? Like, I cannot imagine. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to show you is, can you spot something wrong with this video? Breaking. Canadians are celebrating the news of Justin Trudeau's resignation by recreating the iconic hot tub party in front of Parliament Hill. And look at that for a video. Spotted anything wrong? So this is actually an AI video, and you can tell by the guy in the lower left, it glitches, and this is actually fake. So I just wanted to share this because look how realistic AI video is getting, just so that you're informed on that. Because, yeah, you definitely can't believe everything that you see, unfortunately. Anyway, I just wanted to give you those quick updates for today. Let me know your thoughts on everything that happened today. Let me know your thoughts as well on Sunny Houston's comments, and how do you think that Kamala Harris did? I mean, in fairness to her, that was rough what she had to do, and she did it, and she smiled and she was nice. So there you go. Anyway, thanks very much. I'll see you very soon.